Hello and welcome back to the Master League save with Man United and myself, Cultured Left Foot. It's a pleasure to have you with me once again. And today we're going on to face Bristol Rovers, or South West Reds. For some reason their logo hasn't loaded in the save, but that's who we're facing today in the FA Cup. So it'll be an interesting little save to have. We've got a mission from the chairman. He wants us to win the FA Cup. Okay, that's probably not going to happen with the way we've been playing. A 2-2 draw in the last episode against Huddersfield, not the best of performances. Let's go to this one. We're going to go for a new formation. I'm going to go for the attitude of let's score more than them, to be honest. So we're going to play a very attacking, quite narrow formation with this one. We just need to sort out who's playing where. So Shaw can come off to be replaced by Tierney because he's up for it and Shaw isn't. Well, we should probably give some of our other players a bit of a run out. We still need to have that chemistry, so Pogba will be playing in this game. We're going to start Lukaku over Icardi up there. We'll probably put Fred in for McTominay. Look at 91, that's very nice. Sancho, let's give Sancho a start instead of Mata. Or actually, let's play Lingard. That'll be better because he's up for it. Sancho can go on to the bench ahead of Luke Shaw. Martial can come off the bench, and we'll put... Oh wow, we're really lacking. Let's put Joe Garner on there. He's a youngster, up and coming. De Gea in goal, Dalot, Alderweireld, Diop, Tierney. Can we change any of that back to? I could probably rest Alderweireld. And we could start. Let's give Phil Jones a game. He hasn't played for a while. We'll keep De Ligt on the bench, and Alderweireld can just have a complete rest. Do we want? Yeah, let's put Gomez and Chong on the bench, shall we? Let's put Gomez on there. We'll rest. I guess we'll keep Matt on there. We'll rest Sancho off the bench, put Chong on there. So we've got some youngsters that we can bring on as well, but this is how we're going to be lining up then. So a bit more of a narrow formation. We'll just bring Rashford and Lingard in here. Hopefully they'll give us a bit of fluidity. Pogba attacking through the middle. Fred and Weigl at the back. Jones, Diop, Tierney, Diego Dalot as a back four. And then obviously Big Dave saves in goal. They're lining up in a 3-5-2 formation. Be interesting to see how this gets on. We'll be playing in the red. They're playing in Crystal Palace's kit, so something's gone wrong with my Evo switcher. It's given them all of Crystal Palace kits, which is brilliant. Well, they'll have to play in Crystal Palace's kits because I can't come out and go and reload it because it'll be far too much effort to do it at this point. And hopefully, come in the next episode, it'll all be sorted. Don't you worry. I was just looking at that team thinking, is it actually Crystal Palace's team? It's not. It's fine. Let's get into it then, and we'll be back for kickoff. Hello and welcome to the start of the FA Cup, the Emirates FA Cup, here live on your TV. Man United versus Bristol Rovers, who have had to borrow Bristol City, who have had to borrow Crystal Palace's away kit due to a kit clash and a problem with the laundry. So we hear their normal away kit was turned pink and so couldn't be played against Man United. But it's going to be an interesting game. Vinko Pritin yet again changing his formation for Man United as the players line up. And it's going to be interesting to see how they line up. A very youthful bench for the Croatian today. And Bristol City playing their normal strength team. So it should be an interesting match to see how far Man United are going to take the FA Cup and how far they think they can get through it. As we look through the lineups now, then David De Gea starts in goal. Diego Dalot is at right back. In the middle, Phil Jones and Issa Diop. Tierney comes in at left back. Fred, Weigl and Pogba make up a midfield three with Lingard, Lukaku and Rashford starting as a front three. On the bench, youngsters of Gomez, Chong and Garner all looking to make a debut this season. Bristol City line up like this. Vyman, Dodahui up front, Pack and Brownhill in the middle, Dowda and Watkins on either wing. Walsh, Webster, Callas and Baker make up the main defensive four, and Manyapa in goal is going to be hopefully a busy man if you're a Man United fan. So let's get the game right underway. It's Man United to kick us off. And here we go. They're in the red kit, as you would expect, kicking from left to right. Bristol City kicking from right to left in the white strip. But the FA Cup is high on the agenda of the chairman, as we know, for Man United. But we'll have to see how Vinko Pritin is going to take it. Pogba doesn't get off to the most auspicious of starts, giving the ball away in the middle of the park. And it comes out to the left-hand side for Bristol City. Up it goes. And it's a lovely 1-2 to release the winger there. It's played back in field. Phil Jones has caught a little bit out of position. And this is a fantastic start. And they've hit the post. Can you believe it? Bristol City with a absolutely flying start out of the blocks here. David De Gea beaten twice. One of them hit the post. One of them flies over the bar. Lovely footwork there. David De Gea beaten to it by the striker. It came out to the central midfielder and his shot goes past the post. And this is not the start Vinko Peritin would have wanted in this cup competition. He thought this would be an easy game against a lower division team. As Fred picks this one up in the middle. Just lays it back to Issa Diop into his well, this is Weigl, sorry, I was going to say his centre-back partner, but it's not given away as Paul Pogba puts under immediate pressure, but Man United win it back. Phil Jones has the ball, looking for options, plays it into Delo, back to Jones, one more on to Weigl, Weigl out to Issa Diop, up to Fred, who has been a little bit lambasted in the comments recently by the fans as it's going up and it's one back. Bristol Rovers, or Bristol City, what do I keep calling the Rovers, really playing well as Pogba puts the central midfielder under pressure. Comes to the left wing, great tackles from Delo. Pogba does manage to keep it in as well. Lingard, flip back to Fred. To Diego Delo again, just waiting for Pogba to make a run, and he gets that run up the right hand side. Pogba looks to fire in across. It's gone over Lukaku's head, looking for Rashford. It falls here to Kieran Tierney on his right foot. It's a fantastic strike. It's a good block on it though. And Man United win the corner. Pogba here just looked to float one in, just went over the head of Lukaku, who left it for Rashford. Came up to Tierney on his right foot, a great strike and a good block from the defender as it goes behind for a corner. And Pogba will look to swing this one into the box, and it goes looking for Lukaku at the near post, but sort of got his header all wrong. It sort of hit his shoulder and then fell into the arms of Anyapa in the Bristol City net. As here come Bristol City looking to launch an attack. Goes up to the striker, who's just held up slightly. It goes out to the right hand side. He's managed to keep it in play on a wet and rainy day here. Pogba runs straight into the back of his man and doesn't quite get the ball. It's held up well though as Weigl puts him under pressure on the left hand side. Diego Delo closes it down and it's a throw in to Bristol City. 20 minutes gone, 0-0 in the FA Cup first round here at Old Trafford on a wet and rainy day in Manchester. As that's a good tackle from Diop, who's forced the man out wide again across the near post. He's turned really well, De Gea with the save, and that's going to be a goal kick as it gets a double deflection. And great footwork from Dudui up front for Bristol City here. So it's just fired in low. He just held it up, used his strength, really good turn, and then De Gea manages to play it back off him for a goal kick. And Man United are making, well, they know they're in a game. They know they're very much in a game as Fred is robbed in the middle but is fouled. He did come straight through the back of him there. A pretty easy foul for the referee to give that one, as we just see it in a replay. Fred, yeah, nowhere near the ball. Fred chested it down and he had a head in his higher part of his back, which I'm sure would have hurt, as he goes out to Delo with a short free kick. Weigl up to Fred, into Pogba, back to Weigl. This is good football. Lingard looking for Lukaku. It falls to Pogba, who is fouled on the edge of the area. Just about 30 yards out, this one. It's going to be in range for a shot for the Frenchman. You'd imagine he'll be standing over this. It's just a good, quick bit of footwork, a little stud on the top of his foot. Let's see what he can do from this position. It's Paul Pogba standing over it. Just asked Lukaku to get out the way, and he gets it up and down over the wall into the corner. Paul Pogba, what a free kick that is. The Frenchman showing his class, scoring a wonderful free kick there, and it is 1-0 Man United, and that is what you want to see if you're a Red Devil supporter. Bristol City had started well. De Gea forced into a good save. They've hit the woodwork, but once the skill is down the other end, there's nothing they could do about it. Man Utd beaten all ends up. It's a wonderful free kick from Paul Pogba right into the corner of the goal, and it's a truly well hit shot as Man Utd just could not keep that out. Pogba celebrates with Fred and Weigl, and it is 1-0 Man United as Bristol City get the game back underway, and they give it into their back three, who haven't really been troubled too much, but when push came to shove, Pogba was there and really used his great footwork to get round. But here they go again, Bristol City finding the gap in between full-back and centre-backs as Phil Jones wins the ball with a good tackle up to Pogba. Pogba just lays that into Fred. Fred goes up towards Lukaku, out towards Rashford. Rashford into Pogba. Pogba back to Fred again. Man United looking to have found their rhythm a little bit here. Weigl, up it goes into Lingard. Just holds on to it and then waits for the run of Diego Delo. Delo's there. Looks to dink it in towards Lukaku. It's headed away by Bristol City, and Lingard really straight on the pressure. Fred out to Kieran Tierney on the left-hand side. Up it goes to Rashford. Back to Tierney. Tierney swings it in, looking for Lukaku. Again, he's just beaten in the air. Lingard keeps it alive. It comes to Fred. He's already scored 1 goal this season. A great strike against Chelsea. That one is blocked though, that shot there. And Phil Jones just recycles possession all the way back to David De Gea, just for a little breather for both teams. As it started quite a quick game, the FA Cup always produces, well, some upsets every so often, and Man United will be hoping that that isn't them today, as Lingard lays that off into Pogba's path. He's made a blistering run through the midfield. Paul Pogba shoots! What a save from Man Utd to turn it round the post. A fantastic save from the Finn in goal from Bristol City. Lingard here just dinged it in. Pogba lost his man, got to the edge of the box, thought he'd rifle it in, and it's a strong hand from the goalkeeper. And this wet and rainy day really making it hard for the players, as Pogba is over the corner again. Last time went to Lukaku at the front post. He does the same again. A header just past the post from the big Belgian. Working on that in the training ground, that set piece routine towards the front post for the run of Lukaku. And this header, he's getting closer and closer every time. Bristol City are going to have to be aware of that one, as Man United are just restricting the short option out the back with 10 minutes to go in the first half. It goes long. Issa Diop positions himself really well to win that header, and Fred keeps it alive. Just looks to play it across the back four out to Weigl here in the middle of the midfield. Not rushing forward with too much urgency anymore. Delot goes up towards Lingard, and it goes to Pogba. Pogba out back to Delot, and now he's got a bit of time. Lukaku makes a good run in the box, but again it's just a bit of a poor cross. Nothing too special on that one, as Phil Jones just has to make sure he keeps his position here, and he does. He tracks the run well, gives enough time for Fred and Weigl and the rest of the back four to get into their positions. The low with a good tackle into Pogba. Pogba into Lingard. Lingard into Lukaku. Looks for Pogba, but not enough on the pass. And it's very easily intercepted at the back by Bristol City. And they look to launch an attack with Dudui up front. It goes to the right hand side. Looks to dink it over the top. It's a wonderful ball and a wonderful bit of control, but a very difficult angle to score from there. And that's another goal kick to Man United. As we just see it again, they build it well, Bristol City. But as they just get into this area, just the wrong option from the striker. Great first touch, but that's a poor shot. And it goes past the post. Not troubling David De Gea at all, who's looking to get on with this pretty quickly. I think Vinko Peritin has told his team, you know, they need to go and get another goal. Really try and make this their own cup tie. Keep the ball, play it sensibly, but don't just sit on the back foot. We need to make this happen. And there it is, half-time, 1-0. Paul Pogba's wonderful free kick, the difference at the moment as we go into half-time in the first round of the Emirates FA Cup. Sorry, it's going terribly wrong with our graphics screen here, but 60% possession to 40. 6 shots with only 1 on target for Man United. 4 shots for Bristol City and only 1 on target for them as well. David De Gea making a couple of good saves in there, and Bristol City have hit the woodwork. But 1-0 at half-time. Let's see what happens in the second half. The second half gets underway. Bristol City kicking us off as Lukaku straight away trying to close down the front, the back three for Bristol City, as Fred dives in but doesn't get the ball, and Pogba is just marking his man. Rashford doing a bit of running for him, and now Lukaku. Man United going for a bit of a high press. There's a ball over the top, should be covered by Tierney, and is flicked back very, very well to David De Gea, who once again isn't hanging around and looking to get the ball moving for Man United. Weigl in towards Pogba, just lays that one back towards Issa Diop, looking for some movement up ahead of him, and it is there from Rashford as Tierney picks this up and looks to just dance around the tackle, but was really hounded out of it well. Issa Diop flies into a tackle, doesn't quite get the ball, catches the man first. Possibly a yellow card here. It is a yellow card from the signing from West Ham United, and well, Julian Weigel's there trying to plead innocence for his teammate, but really slid in the rain. The referee could have given him the benefit of the doubt in the sliding conditions of the rain, but it is a free kick, and Issa Diop picks up the first yellow card of the game. And Bristol City go long with the free kick, easily won by Phil Jones. Flicked in field to Lukaku. Lukaku brings the ball forward. He's got a lot of space in front of him now. Looks to dummy his way around the players, but the midfielders got back at him, and the defence just, you know, stood off him, let the midfield get back, and defended that quite well, as it's a throw-in taken quickly into Pogba. Back to Fred. Fred looks to fire it out wide. He's just tried a bit too much of that pass. Diop gets pulled into the tackle. Now there is a chance to counter, but it's a poor pass. And Tierney does well. Looks to play it back up the line in towards Fred. Fred to Pogba. Pogba into Issa Diop, who's finding himself woefully out of position. So lays it back to Tierney. And Man United look to regain their shape as Issa Diop falls nicely back into centre-back. But Fred gives it away again. He's not had the best of games in that holding midfield role today, Fred. And you can see why he's being lambasted a bit by the Man United fans. And Vinko Peritin has got a few questions to ask here of his Brazilian midfielder. It's a good win from Issa Diop. Rashford puts it into the path of Lingard. Lukaku's there. No one can get on the end of it, but he has won a free kick. And it's good hold-up play by the big Belgian. Good intricate passing from Man United as Rashford was caught late and the referee has brought it back for the foul as Bristol City make the first substitution of the game. Watkins off and Patterson comes on to replace him. Now Pogba look to swing this one in towards Lukaku, who just didn't really challenge for it. It's kept in play though, and Man United hold on to possession. Into Fred. Fred flicks it up really well. Lukaku tries to play it around the corner. Fred keeps it alive as there's a slip from the Bristol Rovers, from the Bristol City man. Tierney looks to flick it in. He's going to win a corner for Man United. But that's about it at the moment. Change of the game for Man United. Fred comes off to be replaced by youngster Joe Garner. And Peritin has mentioned how he wants to give youngsters a go in this squad. Again, it's to the near post towards Lukaku. And this one is the first one of those set pieces that's on target. And it's a good save from Manyapa in the Bristol City goal. He goes long with a kick again. And it's going to be Dudui against Jones. Dudui wins it for Bristol City. And Phil Jones has just pulled out of position to try and make a challenge for that header as Garner looks to get straight involved in the action. It's flicked out wide and that's going to go off for a throw to Man United, who have defended pretty well. They've got those two holding midfielders in front of the back four, which seems to be helping out as Smith comes on to replace Pack on the right wing for Bristol City. As it's quickly thrown back in. Weigl into Pogba, who lays it sensibly back to Issa Diop. Issa Diop out to Diego Dalot, who just lays it up there looking for the centre forwards. Lukaku plays it in. Lingard holds it up. He's got runners in front of him, one of which is Paul Pogba. Probably should have gone into Diego Dalot for an easier pass, but it's all Man United at the moment and it's being a pretty easy game for them, but they do want that second goal for a bit of comfort to give them this lead as they just pass it around the back here. Phil Jones into Issa Diop, into Garner, back to Diop, just giving the youngster a nice touch of the ball. Tierney into Gardner. That's a lovely 1-2 with the youngster as it's flicked on here around the corner, back heel. Lingard's in. What a goal that is from Man United. That is a truly superb goal from the Red Devils as Lingard picks it up, dabs there to do his impression of Paul Pogba, and that's a wonderful, wonderful goal from the Red Devils to make it 2-0. Joe Garner, the youngster, involved as well, and a wonderful 1-2 with Kieran Tierney to release the left back up the wing. Flicked it into Rashford, who had a peace of mind to take a touch, back heel it into Lingard's path, who tucks it in at the far post. Manyapa's got no chance in goal, and it's a truly wonderful team goal from Man United. Lovely back heel from Rashford. Knew just instinctively where his strike partner, his friend, Jesse Lingard would be. And that is 2-0 Man United as Lingard pulls out the dab in the replay. And it's surely game over now, with not too long to go. 15-20 minutes to go in the second half. And Man United are playing well as Joe Garner comes out to try and pressure the ball. Pogba is back there defending well. Joe Garner flies into a tackle and gets nowhere near it. And Tierney just has to see this ball off, and does, just before getting the touch on it, even through Bristol City's appeals for it to be their throw. And Pogba with a sensible little flick back to Diop. He goes up towards Lukaku, who's fouled, but the referee plays advantage. And Rashford just keeps possession sensibly. Garner into Diop. Diop looks to fire it all the way up the line towards towards Pogba. Tierney back towards Pogba. Pogba, can he flick it inside? He does. Rashford flicks it on one more. Lukaku's there again. It's a wonderful team goal, and that is the difference. Man United seem to be hitting their stride at the moment as Lukaku makes it 3-0 for the Red Devils. Pogba back to Garner again, up to Tierney, back into Pogba, into Rashford, across the goal, and Lukaku's there to stab home from about 2 yards. A wonderful, wonderful team goal, and it's a truly remarkable sight. Vinko Peritin will be delighted that his team have secured this first round progression in the FA Cup. A double substitution for Man United. It's Angel Gomez on for Pogba and Chong on for Rashford as manager Vinko Peritin looks to give three youngsters a run out in this game. Garner, Chong and Gomez all coming on to get a taste of FA Cup action for the Red Devils. And here is Lingard into Lukaku. Lukaku into Chong. Just lost the ball from under his feet as Bristol City will look to counter-attack now. Out to the right-hand side where their man is in a bit of space. Garner comes over to pressure him and does very well, the youngster, winning the ball. It goes. Lukaku flicks that back to Lingard. Oh, Chong's so far offside, but the referee... I thought the referee was going to bring it back for a foul, but doesn't. And Chong really, I think, was expecting a pass from Lukaku. Lingard put it through, but that was that. And Pisano comes on to replace O'Dowda on the left-hand side of midfield for Bristol City. But Pogba, who's now off the pitch, has made and completed the most passes in the game. And that's what you would expect from someone of his calibre in this sort of tie. Chong lays it up towards Lukaku, puts that in to Fred's path, and he's got Lingard running through the middle for his second goal of the game. Jesse Lingard's in and he fires it past Man Utd. That is 4-0, and that is game, set and match as Lingard puts that one away. Lovely counter-attacking move here. Gomez flicked it through. He gets an assist on his debut under Vinko Peritin, and Lingard curls it round Man Utd, who won't have a chance from that range. It's 4-0. And that is a wonderful result for Vinko Peritin's team. Can they take this form into the league where they have really been struggling to make a difference and get results? Their biggest result coming against Chelsea, but slipping up against teams like Burnley, Southampton and Huddersfield. It's really not going well, and this is sort of why they just switch off occasionally at the back. Lucky that one doesn't go in, and De Gea had nothing to worry about. But Man United need to bring this attacking form into the Premier League as De Gea goes long with this goal kick, looking up towards Gomez, who does get there and flick it on. Dig at the lows there. Chong round the corner into Lukaku, who uses his strength well, finds Lingard, looking back to Chong, but just couldn't get that position sorted. And as we go into injury time, Man United will be hopeful of a clean sheet and will be hopeful of taking this form with them into the league and into the latter rounds of the Cup. As it goes over the top, and Issa Diop really wants this clean sheet. De Gea comes out, gets a hand to it. A bit of confusion at the back there from Man United as Diop just puts his foot through it, and that's the full-time whistle. It's 4-0. The Pogba free kick set them on their way. Bristol City players infighting there, and Man United secure a lovely win. Lingard getting 2, an assist for Angel Gomez on his league, or his team debut under Vinko Peritin, and it was a wonderful performance. But we've got to remember, Bristol City did cause some problems at the back for Man United. But is this the new look formation that Vinko Peritin should stick with as he moves through the season? He surely needs a bit of luck and a bit of form to go with him into the league, as we see Tierney's right foot rocket. And this was the closest they really came here, as it was fired low. Diadui with good skill on the coast, and then De Gea with a sprawling save to keep him out. And the final score is Man United 4, Bristol City 0. Well, man of the match today is Jesse Lingard for his 2 goals. So other results around in the Cup. So Swansea City losing 2-0 to West Ham. Wolves beating Southampton 3-1. Huddersfield losing to Palace. Tottenham beating Forest. Fulham beating Cardiff 4-0. Newcastle losing to Burnley, and Chelsea beating Brentford. Arsenal beat Norwich. Stoke lost to Brighton. Leicester beat Middlesbrough. Liverpool beat Leeds. Everton beat Birmingham City 1-0. Villa lost to Watford. Bournemouth beat West Brom in extra time. And Hull City lost to Man City. So into the second round of the Cup they go. And Man United will be playing Wolverhampton Wanderers, conquerors of Southampton, as Lindelof is starting to improve. And the next game will be Celtic in the Champions League for Vinko Peritin. So let me know in the comments, do you think that is the formation we should be sticking with after an emphatic win against Bristol City? And obviously it was only Bristol City. I will try and sort out the Evo Switcher stuff. I know there's just been an update for Pro Evo which downloaded before I recorded this episode, and that does mess up the kits and stuff like that, so I'll go into it and have a look and make sure it's all working correctly. I might need to reinstall all of the Evo Switcher stuff, but yeah, we've got Celtic coming up next in the Champions League, and I might start to try and go to 2 games in one episode, but I can't promise anything. But let me know how you think it's going below. What do you think of that new formation? Is that what we stick with? And yeah, thank you so much for watching, but for now, I'm out. Cheers.